what you feel right now is not just exhaustion. It's not just stress. Something deeper is moving inside you. And the strange heaviness around these days, July 13, 14, and 20th, is not coincidence. These days are not meant to be comfortable. They are meant to shake you, not from the outside, but from within, because the real storm is not out there. It never was. The real storm is inside you. You might think the world is pressing on you, but the truth is, these days are revealing the pressure you've stored within. These are the days when everything you've buried comes to the surface. Old emotions, old thoughts, old pain, and the longer you've avoided facing them, the louder they rise during this time. Don't be surprised if you feel irritated, confused, or lost on these 3 days. This is not weakness. This is exposure. You are being shown what still controls you. You are being shown the parts of yourself that still resist growth. The 13th, 14th, and 15th of July are mirrors. They reflect who you are when no one's watching, when your patience is tested, when your focus breaks, when your energy is low. This is where you meet yourself, not in easy moments, not when everything feels aligned, but in the fire, in the discomfort. That is where your discipline is either alive or dead. That's where your truth begins. If you're searching for answers outside, you will remain lost. The guidance is not coming from another voice. It's already inside you. But these days are designed to strip away the noise, to force you into silence, to make you listen. The agitation you feel, it's not from the world. It's your own soul demanding your attention. When the mind screams and the heart is restless, it's not punishment. It's a signal. These are the hardest days because they carry truth. And truth always feels heavy when you're not ready to hear it. Stop running. Stop trying to numb it. Stop distracting yourself. July 13, 14, and 15 are not meant to be escaped. They are meant to be faced. This is your moment to sit in the discomfort, to breathe through the chaos, to witness the thoughts that rise and the emotions that fall without reacting. If you can sit in that fire without moving, without reaching for comfort, then something new is born inside you. You've been taught to chase peace. But peace isn't something you find. It's something you become when you no longer resist what is. And on these days, when everything feels like too much, the real question is, can you remain still? Can you hold yourself without judgment? Can you endure the storm without abandoning yourself? July 13th will tempt you to react. July 14th will challenge identity. And July 15th will ask if you've learned anything at all. These 3 days are not just numbers on a calendar. They are thresholds. You either break through or break down. You either rise or repeat. That's the choice you face. Every time you feel like quitting, a part of your old self is being threatened. That's why it feels hard. Because the version of you that's comfortable, reactive, emotionally weak, that version cannot survive this level of growth. And it won't go quietly. It will scream. It will distract. It will make you believe that this pain is a sign something's wrong. But it's not wrong. It's right. It's necessary. You are being upgraded, and upgrades always come with disruption. So you don't need someone to rescue you from this process. You don't need someone to fix you. You need to watch yourself closely. What triggers you on the 13th? What exhausts you on the 14th? What decision do you avoid on the 15th? This is the self-growth, the new way, not the spiritual ideas you've collected, not the motivational words you've memorized. The work is here, in your ability to stay conscious in discomfort. No one is coming to save you from your own mind. These 3 days are your opportunity to step out of victimhood and into responsibility. You are the architect of what comes next. But first, you must demolish what's not real, the false self, the reactive self, the part of you that hides behind blame, noise, and habits. Let them burn. When July 16th arrives, something will have shifted. You'll either be exhausted from surviving these days or you'll be lighter because you let go of something heavy. Don't waste these days. Don't try to sleep through them. Wake up, watch closely, Discipline your thoughts, observe your emotional reactions, let go of what no longer serves, because these aren't ordinary days. They're sacred in disguise, and if you pass through them with awareness, something new will be born in you. Not inspiration, not motivation, something stronger, something unshakable, a deeper version of yourself, not created through comfort, but forged in the fire of July 13, 14, and 15. What you've built inside yourself is about to be tested, not by others, not by the world, but by the flow of time itself. July 13, 14, and 15 are not just ordinary days, they are checkpoints. They are moments placed directly in your path to expose the structure of your inner life. Your discipline, your routine, your ability to stay centered. These are not theories anymore. These 3 days will show you exactly where you stand. It is easy to talk about peace when life is calm. It is easy to speak of strength when nothing challenges it. But these days are different. These are the days that strip away the image, the mask, the comfort. They do not ask what you believe in. They ask how you behave when things don't go your way, when you feel tired, angry, misunderstood, when the outside world offers no support. How do you respond? This is what will be revealed on July 13, 14, and 15. Your inner structure is the result of your habits, the way you wake up, the way you breathe, the way you speak to yourself when no one is watching. And if that structure is weak, these days will break you open. If that structure is strong, these days will refine you further. But either way, something will be exposed. Something will be seen. You cannot hide from yourself during these dates. On July 13, expect your patterns to rise. Whatever you normally do when discomfort appears, it will show up. Maybe you overthink. Maybe you avoid. Maybe you blame. Maybe you numb yourself. Watch closely. The pattern is not the enemy. It is the mirror. It shows you where your system cracks under pressure. On July 14, expect the emotional weight to grow. This is the day when silence feels loud, when you may want to quit, when discipline feels pointless. But this is not the moment to collapse. This is the moment to stabilize. When you feel nothing is working, that is the exact moment to return to structure. Breathe, move, sit, observe, repeat. You are not trying to win against the discomfort. You are learning to remain unmoved within it. By July 15, your mind will have decided something. It will either say, this is too much, or I've made it through. The choice is always yours, but don't be fooled. Survival is not the goal. Awareness is. Growth is. What did these 3 days show you? Where did you fall? Where did you hold? What part of your internal architecture bent or broke? That is the lesson. That is the new beginning. Structure is not about control. It is not about perfection. It is about creating a system strong enough to carry you through moments like these. Without structure, emotion takes over. Impulse leads and confusion spreads. With structure, you return to yourself again and again, even when everything feels uncertain, even when the body resists, even when the mind screams, you remain. This is the training. No one builds strength on accident. Strength is the result of repeated acts of discipline, especially when there is no motivation, no inspiration, no comfort. And on July 13, 14, and 15, those comforts will be removed. That's not a curse. That's an invitation. These are the days where the practice becomes real, where the teachings meet reality, where the theory becomes experience. Ask yourself, how do I begin my day when the energy is heavy? What rituals keep me anchored when emotions pull? What words do I say to myself when I feel like quitting? If you have no answers, these days will shake you. But if you've prepared even a little, you will see the value of what you've built, not in how things look, but in how you feel inside. Calm, clear, ready. On July 13, the pressure begins. On July 14, it increases. On July 15, it peaks. Don't escape. Don't resist. Face it. You are not the pressure. You are the presence. You are not the emotion. You are the awareness. And structure is what keeps you from forgetting that. It is your anchor in the waves. Don't underestimate these 3 days. They may appear quiet, but the inner test is loud, and no one will know what you've gone through except you. And that's enough. The growth you experience here is not for applause. It is for transformation. It is for integrity. It is for becoming someone who doesn't collapse every time the wind blows. Build your structure now. Reinforce it. Return to it. And when July 13 arrives, walk into it fully, not as someone hoping it will pass quickly, but as someone prepared to meet themselves with honesty, courage, and stillness. Because on the other side of July 15, something will shift. And you will either be someone who reacted or someone who remained. The choice is in the structure. The work is already here. So you can already feel it. Something is shifting. Something is not the same. And if you've been paying attention, you'll notice that the air around July 13, 14, and 15 is heavy, not in temperature, but in energy. People are tense. Minds are racing. Emotions are unstable. And yet most won't understand why. Most will say it's just stress or it's just life. But deep down, this isn't random. This isn't noise. This is a shift. July 13 marks the beginning. A change begins to move through your thoughts. The day might feel ordinary, but inside there's friction. Old habits don't satisfy. Old distractions don't work. You begin to feel disconnected from things that used to keep you numb. That's the signal. The energy around you is rising, but you must stay grounded. Without grounding, you'll be swept away by the noise. Without grounding, you'll believe every thought. You'll act on every emotion. You'll react instead of respond. On July 14, that shift intensifies. This is the peak. You feel it in your body, tired, restless, maybe even aching. You feel it in your emotions, irritation, sadness, confusion, and your mind will try to label it. It'll say something is wrong, but nothing is wrong. The old energy is trying to leave, and new energy is trying to enter. The discomfort is the space in between, and you have to learn how to stand in it without moving. This is not a time to act impulsively, not a time to fix everything. These 3 days are not for fixing. They are for observing. You are not here to escape the shift. You are here to survive it with awareness. When everything starts to feel out of control, the work is simple. Return to your breath, return to your body, return to what's real. That's what grounding means. It doesn't mean ignoring the chaos. It means standing firm while it passes through you. You will be tested on July 14. Conversations may trigger you. Doubts may rise. You may question everything about your path, and it's okay. That's how growth shows up. It's not quiet. It's not gentle. It breaks patterns. It exposes weakness. It pulls everything to the surface and says, "Here, look at this. You can't carry this anymore." And your only job is to stay with the process, stay in your center, stay grounded. Grounding is not spiritual talk. It is action. It is discipline. It is presence. It is drinking water, stretching your body, limiting noise, watching your thoughts, saying no to what drains you, saying yes to silence, saying yes to stillness. Because stillness is not laziness. It is control. It is alignment. It is strength in its purest form. July 15 is the closing gate. And how you arrive at it depends on how you moved through the 13th and 14th. Did you panic? Did you numb yourself? Did you argue, complain, escape? Or did you stay grounded? Did you return to yourself again and again, no matter what showed up? Because by the 15th, the energy will start to settle, and what's left will be the truth, the real emotional state, the real clarity, the real path forward. But don't expect peace to arrive if you've spent the whole time resisting. Don't expect answers if you avoided the questions. Don't expect calm if you fed the chaos. These days will give you back what you put into them. That's why grounding is so important. It's not about surviving the shift, it's about aligning with it, moving with it, not against it, accepting what rises, letting go of what no longer fits. Most people will miss this. They will argue, they will distract, they will complain about things that don't matter, and they will wonder why they feel so empty afterward. But not you. So not if you choose to be aware, not if you choose to be grounded, not if you choose to trust the process of discomfort. This shift is not meant to break you. It's meant to reveal you. It's meant to shake loose the parts of you that are no longer aligned. And yes, it hurts. Yes, it's uncomfortable. But so is growth. So is evolution. You cannot carry an old mindset into a new season. And these 3 days, July 13, 14, and 15th, will make sure you don't. So hold your center. Come back to your breath. Speak less. Observe more. Move your body. Clear your space. Protect your energy like it is sacred, because it is. Don't give it to everyone. Don't waste it on distraction. These days are sacred. Treat them that way. When you do something inside, you will unlock. After July 15, you will feel lighter, but only if you've done the work, only if you allowed the shift to happen, only if you stayed grounded while the storm passed through. You're not here to avoid transformation. You're here to live it, to move through it, to become someone new because of it. Remember, the energy is shifting. It's not a theory. It's real. You can feel it. So choose stillness, choose awareness, choose to stay rooted when everything else tries to pull you away. And if you do, when this is over, you won't be the same. You'll be something more, something deeper, something grounded. The pain you feel is not a mistake. It's not a punishment. It's not the universe being unfair. It's a message. But most people never learn to listen. They run from pain. They hide from it. They fight against it with distraction, anger, or denial. And that is why they stay stuck. July 13, 14, and 15 are not here to destroy you. They are here to speak to you. But only if you're quiet enough to hear what pain is trying to say. On July 13, something inside you will start to stir. It might come as restlessness, maybe frustration, maybe a feeling that you can't explain. It's not random. It's the beginning of the message. Your mind may try to label it as stress, fatigue, burnout, but it goes deeper. It's your body reminding you that something within you hasn't been faced. It's your soul saying, look here. So you've been ignoring this for too long. That's why these days feel so heavy, not because of what's happening outside, but because of what's rising from within. The pain is old. It's been sitting quietly beneath your habits, your routines, your silence. So, but July doesn't let it hide anymore. These 3 days drag it into the light. You may feel tired for no reason, emotional for no reason, angry, triggered, sensitive for no reason. But there is always a reason. The reason is the truth you keep avoiding. On July 14, so the pain will speak louder. You may feel overwhelmed. You may feel like crying or screaming or breaking something just to feel in control. But don't stop. Don't react. Just listen. What is this discomfort trying to tell you? Is it pointing to something unresolved? So something you haven't said, something you haven't admitted. This is the practice, not reacting, not running, but observing. You don't need to fix the pain. You just need to let it move. Pain is a form of intelligence. It shows you where your energy is stuck, where your emotional wounds live, where your thoughts are still heavy. It shows you who you've been, and it points to who you no longer want to be. This is not weakness. This is awareness. And these 3 days, 13, 14, and 15th, are giving you the space to finally see yourself clearly. The problem is not the pain. The problem is your reaction to it. You think you shouldn't feel it. You think pain means something is wrong. So you fight it. And the moment you resist, it grows. Pain expands in resistance. But when you stay calm and simply feel it, pain becomes a guide. It begins to dissolve. And beneath that pain is clarity, insight, wisdom, peace. On July 15, a decision must be made. You can either bury the pain again, push it down, distract yourself, pretend it doesn't matter, or you can finally accept it. You can look it in the eye and say, so I'm ready to learn, because that's what this moment is about. These are not days for pretending. These are days for truth, for growth, for evolution. And no evolution happens without discomfort. Everyone talks about transformation, but they don't want the discomfort that comes with it. They want change without friction. They want peace without confrontation. But that's not how it works. Pain is the gate you must walk through to meet the next version of yourself. And these 3 days are the gate. So don't run, don't numb, don't blame. Sit with the feeling, watch your thoughts. Feel the heat of the emotion in your chest, in your stomach, in your breath. Let it move through you, because on the other side is something real, not temporary relief, not false positivity, but real freedom. And that freedom only comes from understanding what your pain is trying to teach you. Maybe it's telling you to let go. Maybe it's telling you to forgive. Maybe it's telling you that your current way of living is too small for who you really are. Whatever it is, listen. The answers don't come from the outside. They come in the silence between the breath when you finally stop resisting. These days are your mirror. They don't lie. They don't flatter. They reflect exactly what is. And the more honest you are with what they show you, the faster you grow. Pain is a tool. Use it, welcome it, respect it, because without it, you would stay the same. And staying the same is no longer an option. So when the discomfort rises on July 13, 14, and 15, don't ask, why me? Ask, what is this trying to show me? That's where the growth begins. That's where the new self is born, not through avoidance, but through awareness, through presence, through courage. These are not just painful days. These are powerful days. And the power comes from your willingness to face yourself fully, honestly, without escape. You want transformation, then listen to your pain. It already knows the way. You are not stuck. You are not powerless. You are not a victim of what is happening around you. The days may be difficult. The pressure may feel intense, but the choice is always yours. July 13, 14, and 15 are not controlling you. They are revealing you. They are showing you the exact moment when you decide who you are going to be. These are not random dates. These are days where everything becomes louder, your thoughts, your emotions, your urges. You feel tested. You feel triggered. You'll feel like quitting. But none of that is new. What's new is the opportunity. These days give you a very clear choice: react or respond, repeat or rise, break or build. On July 13, you will feel pulled in two directions. One direction is familiar. It's the old way of reacting, complaining, distracting yourself, blaming others, numbing the discomfort. The other direction is unknown. It's quiet, disciplined, clear, uncomfortable at first, but powerful if you stay. And in every single moment, you will have to choose. That is the truth no one wants to hear. There is no magical breakthrough coming unless you participate. Growth doesn't happen automatically. So it happens when you take responsibility for your response. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have all the answers. But you do need to stop giving away your power every time something feels difficult. Life will not stop being hard. But you can stop being helpless. You can stop waiting for the right mood, the right timing, the right conditions. You can choose to act differently even when everything inside you is screaming for comfort. That is the moment of transformation. And that moment will arrive again and again on July 13, 14, and 15. On July 14, the emotional noise will rise. You might feel misunderstood. You might feel drained. People may irritate you. Situations may feel unfair. But the emotions are not the problem. The problem is what you do with them. Do you react with anger? Do you shut down or do you pause? Do you breathe? Do you observe? That is the space where power lives. Between the feeling and the action, that space is small, but it's everything. Choice is not loud. So it doesn't announce itself. It shows up quietly in those exact seconds when you're about to fall back into an old pattern. And no one will see it but you. No one will clap for you. No one will reward you. But if you choose well, you will know. You will feel stronger. You will feel clearer. And that feeling is worth more than any comfort you temporarily gave up. On July 15, the test will be this. Did you take ownership of your mind, your time, your energy, or did you give it all away to distractions, emotions, and excuses? That's the question you'll have to answer. Not with words, with your state of being, with your clarity, with your self-respect. Growth doesn't come from waiting. It comes from deciding. You decide how to speak. You decide how to think. You decide how to act even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. And these days, July 13, 14, and 15th are hard for a reason. They are not the punishment. So they are the pressure that reveals your choice. Pressure doesn't break you. It shows you where you haven't yet stepped up. So if you're still blaming the world, you haven't chosen. If you're still waiting for someone to understand you, you haven't chosen. If you're still hoping things will just get easier, you haven't chosen. Choice is action. Choice is discipline. Choice is doing the uncomfortable thing that leads to strength. And that choice is in front of you every hour during these days. You can say, I'm overwhelmed. Or you can say, this is a test of my clarity. You can say, I'm too tired. Or you can say, now is when I learn to stay focused even when tired. You can say, I don't feel motivated. Or you can say, this is the moment where I act without needing motivation. This is the shift. This is the truth. And no one can make that shift for you. It's your decision every time. So watch yourself closely on the 13th, on the 14th, on the 15th. Watch your patterns, watch your habits, watch your voice. And when the old way rises, do not obey it. Pause, breathe, choose again. This is your power. This is your freedom. Nothing changes until you choose. No, not once, but again and again when it's hardest. These are the hardest days for a reason. They are not here to break you. They are here to offer you the chance to step into something new, to become someone different. And that doesn't happen in silence or waiting. It happens in the decision to show up differently again and again. These 3 days will pass. But what remains is what you built inside them: weakness or strength, clarity or confusion, discipline or regret. And the difference is not luck, it's choice. Choose well. Choose now. Choose again. You won't be the same after this. 13, 14, and 15 are not just passing dates. They are a passage. You are walking through something invisible, something real. And once you walk through it, you will not go back to the person you were before. Whether you rise or fall in these days, something inside you will shift. A part of you will be left behind, and something else, something new will be born. Transformation doesn't ask for permission. It shows up when you're not ready. It shows up when you feel tired, confused, unmotivated. That's exactly when these days strike. Because they're not meant to comfort you. They're meant to wake you up. July 13 begins that process. It stirs the things you've ignored. So you'll feel it in your routine, in your emotions, in your body. You'll notice how the smallest things affect you deeply. That's not weakness. That's exposure. You are being pulled toward a deeper awareness. On July 14, you are already inside the storm. There is no more running, no more pretending. This is the middle. This is where you face your patterns head on. The habits that no longer serve you become obvious. The mindset that keeps you small becomes loud. You will feel tension, but this tension has purpose. It's the pressure that cracks the shell around the old self. And every crack is a choice. Protect what is dying or let it go. So this is why most people repeat their suffering. They resist the cracking. They fear the shedding. They run from the process. But you're not here to repeat. You're here to become. And becoming doesn't come through theory or comfort. It comes through friction. You have to let go of who you were before these 3 days. That version of you, the one that doubts, avoids, reacts, that version has to dissolve. Let it go. July 15 brings the decision. Will you step through the gate or turn back? No one else will make that decision for you. There is no applause, no spotlight, no outside force. Just you, the true truth you found in the last 72 hours. You either carry forward the same thoughts, the same excuses, the same emotional reactions, or you leave them behind. This is the moment of emergence. But it only happens if you allow the old to die. This is not dramatic. This is not poetic. This is real. Your next self doesn't appear automatically. It is built through observation, through stillness, through repetition, through honesty. These days are the blueprint. They show you who you've been. They test your ability to be something else. If you've done the work, if you've watched your mind, stayed grounded, chosen discipline, then you will feel the shift. It won't be loud, it will be subtle, quiet, strong. The person who comes out of July 13, 14, and 15 is not more perfect, not more spiritual, but more real, more aware, less reactive, less attached. You'll notice you don't argue with life as much. You don't cling to noise. You don't collapse under pressure like before. Because now you've walked through fire and didn't run. That does something to you. It gives you depth, presence, power. But you have to mean it. You cannot fake growth. You cannot pretend to transform. These days demand your full attention, your full presence. Yeah, you have to see yourself with clarity. You have to feel the weight of your choices, and you have to own what needs to be left behind. Otherwise, you'll exit these 3 days exactly the same, but more exhausted, more distracted, more disconnected. There is something inside you that is ready to rise, ready to evolve, ready to lead a different life, not louder, not faster, just clearer, more aligned. But that version of you cannot exist while you are still loyal to the person you used to be. That version needs space. And this space is created by release, by silence, by conscious choice. So let these 3 days break what must be broken. Let July 13 shake your habits. Let July 14 reveal your weakness. Let July 15 demand a decision. Don't fear the discomfort. It's not here to hurt you. It's here to strip away what you no longer need. And when that layer is gone, what's left is something real, something whole, something awake. Transformation isn't found in talking about it. It's found in walking through it. And July 13, 14, and 15 are your walk. You don't need to fight them. You don't need to escape them. You need to move through them with awareness, with intention, with courage. And once you've let go of the outdated version of yourself, you'll notice a quiet shift, a peace not based on external calm, a strength not built on fear, a clarity that doesn't need approval. That's the real reward, and no one can give it to you. You earn it by showing up fully, by feeling fully, by choosing to evolve even when it hurts. So when the 16th comes, you will look back, not with regret, but with power. You'll know something ended and something greater began, not because the days were easy, but because you showed up for them completely,